Welcome, everyone, to In the Trenches. Eagles insider Dave Spadaro with Brian Westbrook, the Eagles Hall of Famer. And we're here to talk about the Eagles' defense, a struggle against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. Brian, I got to tell you, I thought the Eagles' defense gave great effort, a lot of heart, a lot of determination. It's just one of those days where they were outmanned.
You know, you played against an offense, Amari Cooper, very good receiver. Of course, Zeke Elliott, very good running back. And Dak just had a day yesterday, one of those types of things. Our defense battled all game long. There's a point as a defense, as a team, when your defense is on the field so much, no matter how much they're battling, they get tired. They can't take it anymore. They can't hold the fort any longer. I think we reached that point yesterday. The Dallas offense ran a bunch of plays, 99 plays in the course of a game in overtime. That's a lot of plays for a defense to hold up against.
93 plays.
93.
500, literally 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yep.
93 plays, 576 total net yards. And while the Eagles battled Ezekiel Elliott, 28 carries, 113 yards, tackled very well. I thought the front seven did a great job. At the end of the day, Dak Prescott just went at the cornerbacks, at the cornerbacks, at the cornerbacks. Now, little big picture question here for you. We all believe Sidney Jones has to be a foundation player in the secondary. Year two, only played one game last year after the Achilles tendon injury. He's been hampered by the hamstring injury all year. This is, in a way, kind of a redshirt year for Sidney Jones. How does he rebound from this? Because clearly he's not healthy. Whether he plays these final 3 weeks, we don't know. But we're looking at 2019 for him.
So for him, you have to get 100% healthy. That's where it starts with. Certainly the Achilles affects the hamstring. All those things are a part of it. He has to get 100% healthy. The other thing that Sidney has to do, and sometimes it takes cornerbacks time to do this, especially when you're not healthy, but you have to be confident in your fundamentals, your mechanics. You have to be confident in your footwork. And right now you're seeing a lot of grabbing, using his hands to hold receivers back. That's because he's not confident. A lot of times Sidney's in the place. He's in the right position, but he's holding because he's not quite sure. He has to continue to produce confidence in himself. And that happens over an offseason. That happens when you go against some of the best receivers on your team and outside of your team over the course of an offseason, and you understand that your skill set is good. Your skill set is solid. You don't have to hold and grab. That's going to take some time for Sidney. I don't know if this team waits for him, but he certainly had talent in college. He has to find a way to get his game back. It's going to take an offseason to do that.
Clearly, cornerback is going to be a big picture need for this team with Ronald Darby going into his free agent year. Rasul Douglas seems in these last couple of weeks to have taken some steps forward. I like his aggressiveness. Unfortunate on that last play in overtime, getting his tip.
Bad break.
Bad break. But I thought he battled.
I think he battles. I think when you look at Rasul, he's a guy that's very confident. He's a guy that goes in, even after giving up a big play, he goes back in there and fighting. I like that type of mentality. You just wonder if his skill set is a little bit too slow to be playing on the outside. There's too many times where he's getting his hips twisted the wrong way, and then he has to go back and try to make a play, and he's 2 or 3 steps too slow. I'm not quite sure that he's made and built out to be a cornerback on this level at this point in time.
Would you think maybe they move him to safety? We all talk going from cornerback to safety. How do you do it? What is the skill set difference?
Well, here's the thing. You have to do an awful lot of covering at the safety position. We've seen Malcolm Jenkins doing that. We know that Rasul Douglas will go up and hit somebody in the mouth. So I think it would be an easier transition for him. Played a little safety in college as well. So there are some opportunities back there. It's all about what happens to Roddy McLeod when he comes back. It's all about what Jim Schwartz and that defensive secondary wants to do. I certainly think that his skill set is better suited for the safety position.
Brian, the encouraging part of Sunday's game in Dallas was a defense that took the football away 3 times, a couple of interceptions, a fumble recovery. Michael Bennett leading the charge up front, a sack and a half, 7 tackles. Eagles getting after Dak Prescott. So let's pull that positive out and talk about that.
I think the defense, especially the front four, they did a good job of getting out their Dak, making them uncomfortable. There was a couple throws where you wish they had a little bit more time as far as to get to the quarterback before he threw the football. The defensive front played well. We need some help in the secondary. We're playing with a lot of reserve type of guys. We understand that. I think there's something to build on for the defense that slowed down an offense that put up a lot of points a couple of weeks ago. We just need more help. They also need to find a way to get off the field. Yep. They allowed the Dallas Cowboys to achieve 53% on third down. You can't get and allow a team to convert 53% of the time. A lot of those times it's third and short, fourth and short. You have to be able to get a stop right there. We couldn't do that yesterday.
We must also, in the trenches segment, talk about the first play of the game, special teams play. Yeah. A kickoff that the Eagles executed absolutely perfectly. Malcolm Jenkins makes the tackle, jars the ball loose. The Eagles swarm to the football, and here comes grugier-hill with the football out of the pile. Yeah. And the referees take it away. Your thoughts on that play, that call, and the impact that had on the game?
Well, let's start with the impact. The impact is you get the ball back. That changes the momentum of a game. It takes all of the air out of their sails. And now as a team, you have the ball heading into the end zone. That changes the momentum of the game, changes your thought process, how Doug Peterson calls the plays, how Jim Schwartz calls the plays, and the guys on the other side, how they call the play, especially if you get a touchdown there. Here's the other part about that whole play sequence. If you have an opportunity to go to replay, you're supposed to get the play right. You're supposed to get the call right. That's the whole purpose. If you're not going to get it right 100% of the time, at that point, just let the refs on the field call make whatever call you're going to make, and we'll just have to live with that. But the expectation from a team standpoint, a fan standpoint, is that if we go to replay system, at that point, get the call correct 100% of the time. Yesterday, they missed it.
Yeah, and it really was costly for the Eagles to set the tone, to establish momentum, and to take a lead and make the Cowboys play from behind. Instead, the Eagles were the team that played from behind all day.
When we start fast, which we haven't done in a while, but when we start fast, it's a different type of play calls from Doug Peterson, Jim Schwartz, different type of mentality and play and scheme from us offensively and defensively. The refs took us away from that yesterday.
No changing it now. Eagles lose the game and fall 2 games behind the Cowboys in the NFC East. Brian Westbrook, Dave Spadaro, thanks for joining us on In the Trenches.